What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. Hope you all are staying positive and cool out there. I'm coming at you guys today with a review of the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 5, Episode 15. I think this was called Portue Girl Bye. Apologize for my lateness. My camera is tripping. I'm recording from the phone today. Before I start off this review, I just want to say, I am so glad I was wrong about my election predictions. It was a little shaky, y'all. It was like a 50-50 chance it could go either way. I was kind of nervous. But Biden ended up winning, and we also have our first female black vice president, a.k.a. in the building. A ski-wee to you all. She won. She's in there. Ain't no stopping us. So I was never really a Kamala Harris fan, but hey, that is a cool point for us. So we're going to take it. But starting off in this episode, y'all, we see Wendy and Robin. They're talking about how they're disgusted with the fact that Monique decided to countersue Candace. And I'm just sitting here y'all just don't like her. What do you expect her to just, take the L and just, roll over? No. Wendy already had in her mind that she was not going to like her because Candace didn't like her. And Robin didn't like her just because she's jealous of her, just like Giselle is. And sometimes Giselle can't think for herself, so she adopts Giselle's beefs and mannerisms. So we then see Monique. She meets up with Karen, and she kind of wants to figure out why she didn't come to her podcast, and also why she gave Candace the idea to go ahead and press charges against Monique. So when she sits down, Karen ends up telling her about Ashley's trip and basically how Monique is not invited. Monique kind of acts well, I got other stuff to do that day. And I'm just like, girl, you were bothered by that. Their trip is so lavish. I would have been pissed looking back at it, from her point of view today. I would have been like, damn, I missed out on all that. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. So Monique then tells her about the podcast event and the fact that Ashley told her that Karen was the one that gave Candace the idea to go ahead and press charges against her. And then Karen kind of, she apologizes and then she kind of talks her way out of it, basically saying, you guys are both my friends, and I was just giving Candace advice on what I would do if I got beat up, because I'm not a fighter. So if somebody fights me, I'm going to press charges. And it just goes to show that Karen's pretty seasoned. She's able to talk her way out of any scenario. She's very, Karen has really stepped up and became the HBIC of Potomac. I don't care what anybody says. You may call me biased. Karen, she is that girl of Potomac. When you think of Potomac, you think of either Karen or Monique. And maybe a dash of Candace. Maybe. But she's starting to creep back into her old ways, and I'm just kind of not really starting to feel Candace anymore. But my opinion will change as time goes on, as it has with this whole entire season. So we then see Ashley packing for her trip, and then we see Michael's old ass playing with that baby. And y'all, I always wonder, how do Michael's kids feel about the fact that they now have a little brother that is probably 20 to 30 years younger than them? It's just so weird seeing this man almost on his deathbed playing with his son. Call me ageist if you want to. I'm just sitting there just okay, girl. But she reveals that she is nervous to leave the baby home with Michael. And in my opinion, no, girl, you're nervous to leave Michael by himself because the last time you did, he was out cheating on you. So she also reveals that she feels bad about not inviting Monique to the trip. And then Michael kind of confirms, you did the right thing. The other girls are basically beefing with her, so why bring her around if... you wouldn't have a trip if Monique was on it, basically. So... She also reveals that we get a peek into Monique and Ashley's alliance and the reason why they're sticking up with each other this season all of a sudden. Because a few seasons ago, them two were on the outs. But now, it all boils down to the fact that Michael last season, or was it the season before last? I don't remember. But down at their rainbow party at Monique's house in their basement, that's when he grabbed the cameraman's ass, and there was that whole entire fiasco and lawsuit. And she had the recording. Well, she lied and said she didn't have the recording, but y'all, she had cameras down in that basement. So in order for it was kind of like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of situation. Because Monique also knew about the fact that Ashley and Michael had an open relationship. And I'm like, Ray Charles could see that. But she basically held onto her secrets, and now in turn Ashley revealed that she is going to basically like give a statement in favor of Monique, even though Ashley was sitting up in the bathroom when the fight happened. But she's going to basically like be on she's going to be on Monique's side throughout the whole entire thing, and she's kind of nervous because she's going to have to end up telling Candace sooner or later. So we all see the ladies, they all board the flight. We see Karen and Wendy seated next to each other. I think Karen probably did that on purpose. She's trying to extend the olive branch. And then when they arrive, though, like Karen like bumped the fuck out of her head. Like that shit was hilarious. And then we get there, and then the I don't know if it was like a resort, but the hotel room was just immaculate. Like you could tell these girls are like generating a big return for Bravo. Like on Bravo's investment. Like they are just doing the damn thing. Like I don't even think Atlanta has had like a lavish trip like that in some years. I mean, maybe Tokyo, but even the Tokyo trip wasn't that lavish to me. So we go on down. They go on down to dinner. Before that, we see Giselle trying to talk to Jamal, having an awkward conversation. And y'all, the outfit she was wearing, I thought that was like the outfit that she wore on the plane to get there. Like a little chill outfit. But she arrived to dinner with that same tacky ass outfit. She was wearing a Gucci headband from 2018 that you only wear in the winter. She was wearing like this tomato red billowy rayon blouse that did not fit her well. And then she was wearing some camouflage capris that were probably tied together with a drawstring. And I'm just like where you be going? Like, where they find this girl at? The halfway house? Like, Giselle, you could tell, like, she was, like, that pretty girl. Like, she relied on her looks to effect to where she didn't have to go the extra mile in terms of looking good and being, like, presentable to society. Like, she just relied on her looks, and then that just got her to where she wants, basically. Like, that got her to where she wanted to be. Like, the fact that Robin's masculine ass can dress better than Giselle is just astonishing to me. Like, somebody get this girl together. But I think nobody tells her how bad she looks because they want the audience to roast her. Like, they want her to be roasted because she has such a nasty-ass attitude. So, I done lost my place, y'all, because I just went on a whole tangent. That whole outfit just made me mad. So, let's see. Where did I leave off at? So we then see Wendy at the table. She's still pressed by Karen. And then she ends up proceeding to talk about her 4 degrees. And I'm just like, if I hear anything else about these fucking degrees, Wendy, I'm going to fucking scream. Wendy, we appreciate the fact that you are a black woman with a PhD. But it's like you have a lot of degrees and nobody gives a damn. You don't even care yourself. You're happy that you accomplished it, but at the same time, you're not happy on the inside. What you do for a living does not serve you. I mean, yeah, the money may be good. I mean, allegedly, because we hear that she has like a lot of tax debt. But it's just like Wendy, we don't know more about you but your degrees. You say that you're much more than your degrees, but so far you aren't. You aren't, girl. Like, I want to like you, but at this point, I don't care if you come back. Like, I could take you or leave you. Like, you don't really add much to the channel except for you being the first Nigerian housewife. That's about it. Like, you need to... Like, I was really hoping I was going to like Wendy, but she just, every episode, I'm just like, her and her greasy bundles just get on my nerves. But she ends up telling a story about how her dad gave her the name Wendy. Basically, he came over as an immigrant from Africa, and he worked his way up and got his first ever promotion in America at the restaurant chain Wendy's. And he saw Wendy's as his first opportunity to lay the foundation for his family in America. And he ended up giving her that name to basically help him remember where he came from. And it was a beautiful story, but at the same time, it all falls to the wayside, Wendy, because you still keep harping on this issue with Karen when there's no issue at all. Karen does not give a shit. We don't care about your degrees, girl. Pick something else. So we then see Giselle ask Ashley about her marriage, and then Karen, who I feel like can really kind of think of, like, she kind of says what we're thinking for us right there in that moment. And she ends up switching the story over to her. And then she's like, she's like basically like saying, well, Jamal isn't around, so like each and every one of us, like you could talk about everybody else's marriage, but like what about your relationship? Like we don't know, we haven't seen Jamal at all. Like you never bring him around. Every event you're always alone. Like you don't really have much else going on. So, like she was getting in Giselle's ass, and for once Giselle is finally in the hot seat. Like I didn't think this moment was even gonna come this season. I thought next season she was like people were gonna be on her ass. But Giselle kind of gets very defensive, and then to my surprise, Robin even chimes in and agrees with Karen. She's like, you know what, you can go ahead and you could share Jamal with us. I mean, we're able to share our husbands as well, and it's just not fair. So Giselle is equally defensive, and then the dinner ends, and then they go ahead and go back to the room. And then Giselle kind of confronts Robin, saying like, why didn't you have my back like always? Like, what's going on? And then Robin's like, well, Karen basically was not wrong, so we just want you to share him with you. She's like, okay, I understand that, but you could have just told me that in private. And I'm just like, you just want Robin to be up under your ass as usual. Like, when the dynamic changes, that's when you have an issue. So we then see Ashley, she's in her room, she tries to call Michael, and Michael did not respond, and then she ends up calling the, it was like her house sitter, not a house sitter, like the babysitter who's also her friend. And she's kind of made Ashley panic with the fact that Michael is not there. Like, he hasn't made it home yet. And then Michael finally answers her phone call. And then she, like, is kind of hysterical. Like, why didn't you, like, call? Like, the baby was supposed to be in the bed, like, at 7 o'clock. It's 7:11. Like, what's going on? And he's just like, I cannot be molested like this. And I'm just like, molested? Like, who? Like, who says that? Like, Michael is just, ugh. So then Ashley, she is just like hysterical. Like, she's like, why isn't he home? Why isn't he home with the baby? And I'm just like, girl, because he's out cheating. That's the real reason why you're hysterical. But he ends up calling her back and he apologizes like he should have, because for you to say like, I can't be molested like this, like, I've never even heard anybody even say that in regards to somebody being nagged to death, but whatever. So we then go on down to, let's see. We then see once again Candace writing in her notes, you know, acting like she is just so traumatized still again by that fight. Like, Candace, I understand words of affirmation, so I'm not going to make fun of her too harshly, but get over it at this point, girl. We don't want to hear about this fight anymore. I'm glad they're slowly starting to not talk about it, but no more. So we then see Karen go into Ashley's room, and then they talk about Karen coming for Giselle, and then Karen's like, it's basically free game at this point. Like, she's came at me before, and Ashley reiterates the fact that like Giselle's basically just been waiting on this whole entire moment. And then we did see Ashley talk about Michael messing up, and then Karen asked exactly what I was thinking, in the fact that like, well, are you kind of just like worried that he was gonna like step out and cheat again? And she's like, no, I'm not worried about that. And I'm like, Ashley, like, why are you lying, girl? That's exactly why. That's exactly why you were hysterical the way you were. So then it's like the next day, the girls, they go to some cable cars, and then they go to dinner once again. That was really, this whole episode was them sitting on a plane and going to dinner. Like, that was the whole entire episode. And basically, like, the last scene, I didn't write notes on it, but basically, like, Karen and Giselle get into it again at the fact that, like, you're able to critique and talk about everybody else's situation but your own. Like, you're not happy in your relationship. Like, what's going on with you and Jamal? Like, is he not proud of you? Like, is that what it is? Is he embarrassed to be with you? And then Giselle like rebuttals and tries to get Jamal on FaceTime just so he could show him to all the girls. And I'm just like, that's not going to shut us up, Giselle. At the end of the day, we're still going to critique the fact that your relationship is not real with him. You did this for a storyline because you don't have shit else going on in your life. You're not doing anything but like fixing up that barn. That's it. Hey y'all, like, Giselle deserves to be roasted at this point. It's just like, she is that one person that, like, your shit is in shambles, but to deflect and be happy about your shitty situation, you're gonna go ahead and go against the grain and critique what's going on with everybody else's life, but they don't have an issue with being transparent and authentic, unlike your fake ass Giselle. But that's my views on the episode. I mean, it was a cute episode. I give it about an 8 out of 10. It was way better than last week. Last week was so fucking boring. Oh my god. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to come at you guys with some more content. Team Joe Biden, I'm so glad he won. I'm so glad this country is finally going to get back to normal. I really hope Trump doesn't try I hope there's no trickery in these last 2 months of his presidency. Like, just go out as, not even gracefully, but just go out as contained as possible. Those are my views. Like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to look out for some more content. Thank you.